Alright, Seb here, welcome back. We've got step 2 here. So what we're going to talk about in step 2 of the video marketing domination is we're going to talk about how do we create the perfect video, or how do we create an effective video, should I say, that reaches the right person. So we want to get the right message to the right person. So what I'm actually going to do is, I'm quite aware of the fact that I know your head's probably filled with statistics, and I realize I probably threw a lot of information at you in the last video and the last few slides I did. So what I'm going to do is jump over to something a bit more mellow, I suppose, and jump over to paint and actually just draw the thing out for you. So we jump over to paint now, and so do apologize in advance about my drawing. It's not the best, but I want to make sure that this is a bit clearer, because when I start drawing it out, you'll probably begin to understand why it was just easier to do that. So before we create our video, this is one of the most important steps. Is we want to actually focus on, who is our message aimed for, who's the target market, and what are we going to say in the video. Okay, if you don't do that, then you can still create the video, but it's just that it won't be as effective. It will be like trying to sell this rare, exotic, expensive steak that's been marinated for 60 days, and it's from the most tender beef in the world. Can you imagine serving that to a vegetarian? Right? They're not going to care. They're not going to care that that you've got the best steak in the world. They might appreciate the effort, but they're obviously not going to buy it from you. Then they're just not the target market. So what do we need to do? We need to figure out who our target audience is, and then figure out what message we should send them. So what I'm going to do is actually draw this out for you and see if I can successfully do this for you. Okay, so this is your target market. So here's another exercise that you can do if you haven't done already, is who is your target market. Imagine it as a real person, and saying that everyone is your target market is nowhere near, is it's just not specific enough. You have to be quite specific. Imagine your target market is a real person. You can even give them a name if you want, like John or Mary or Eliza, or I don't know. You can call them whatever you want. It's your target market. But imagine it's a real person, so you can get quite specific. So think about what's relevant, of course, but let's say you're promoting a business opportunity. Well, things like income might be relevant, so you might want to write down what is this person's household income. What is their what's their marital status? Are they married? Do they have kids? Do they have any business experience? And what are some of their pains they're experiencing in their life? So let's actually write down some of these. So let's put pains. That's a big one, right? Most people don't really take that into account. But here's two things you have to understand that people, they either want or don't want. So they either want to avoid pain or gain pleasure. And typically, depending on the context, but generally speaking, people want to avoid pain more than they want to gain pleasure. Right? So what can you do in your marketing to speak to that pain, speak to the pain of the target market? So let's say, for example, this is John, right? So this is John, and John is a coach, right? This is purely an example. If you're in a totally different industry, stick with me, because this will be relevant. There will be some relevant bits in this that you can take away and apply to other industries. So John is a coach. Right. Well, what might some of John's pains be? Right. So let's say I don't know. John is a father. Right. I should have written dad. That's shorter than father. Okay. So John is a father. Right. So what are some of the pains that he might have? Well, let's say he's working a job. Right. And what are some of the pains? Well, it could be that his job doesn't pay him enough. So just put pay low, right? So that's a big pain for John. He's a father. Let's say he has 2 kids, right? So 2 kids. Oops. That's his kids there, in case you're wondering. So the pay is low, right? And so obviously that means that John is struggling to provide for his kids, or he's struggling to give them the lifestyle that he wants. So what does John want to do? Well, John wants to travel, right? He wants to travel. Okay. He wants to pay off some debt. That could be another pain, right? But that would also be a pleasure too. You understand how this works? So it can get very, very in-depth. So you're going to need to spend some time doing some real market research before you do the video. It's going to make your video much more effective. In fact, the time you're spending researching the video is probably going to be way more than the actual video that you do, you know, or the videos that you do if you're doing a group of them. But these are just some examples here. You know, what other things are could you bear in mind? You know, pains could be, I don't know. Let's do marital. Right, let's say he's we're going back to the coaching thing. So John is runs a, he's a coach part-time, he's got a full-time job, but he wants to do coaching full-time. Well, he might be having some marital issues because he's spending a lot of time trying to run his coaching business. He's trying to get results, and he really wants success, right? But he doesn't have effective strategies. He doesn't know how to build a business. He just doesn't know what he doesn't know. But he's spending all this time trying to understand how to put things right in his business. He's trying to understand things, but at the same time, he's actually neglecting his marriage a bit, and he's spending a lot of time away from his family, which he doesn't want to do. And it's kind of like this, this catch-22. Spend more time trying to succeed with your business, but then it's away from your family, and vice versa. And he's not getting any results. He's not happy. So he's not able to travel, right? And then he's in debt. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to think about what are some of the pains, and then move over to pleasure, right? Pleasure. Okay. Right. So we want to instead think, okay, so what pains is he having, and then move over to the pleasure, right? So where is he now, and where does he want to be, right? So then we can link back to the travel, right? Link back to freedom, right? Freedom, whatever freedom means to him, right? Freedom. Okay, so that's a very quick example of some of the things that you can do for target market. There's a lot of time you can really spend on on understanding who your target market is. But the good news is you can apply it to all your videos. So for the most part, if you're only promoting one product, then you only have to do this once, or one business. Now, in terms of what you actually say in the video, I'm going to keep this quite concise. So I would start with your name, right? That's my name. So let's just put name here. I'd put where you're from. That kind of gives people a bit, lowers their resistance. If you say I'm Seb from Ipswich, United Kingdom, then they kind of have a bit of an identity with you. You're not just some random guy online. You're actually a real person. So I would say where I'm from. I would say, what's the purpose of the video? Just trying to find the words there. Purpose of video. Wish I could draw quicker. Video. Okay. This is always important. Make sure to say this the first 10 seconds. Right. First 10 seconds of the video. Okay, that's people's attention span. Is you want to say this immediately. Hi, I'm seb.brantigan from Ipswich, United Kingdom. And are you looking at this video, or are you watching this video because you're looking to generate more clients for your coaching business? If so, then stick around. I'll give you 4 tips that are going to help you head in that direction. That's very simple. It took like, I don't know, 7 seconds. Then I would get into the content. Oops, can't draw now. It's content. Okay, so that can be, I don't know, maybe a minute, 2 minutes. But the whole video, you want it to be about 2 to 3 minutes, generally speaking. You want your videos to be quite short, concise, to the point. When you first start doing videos, you might do a couple of takes. but the goal is to do less and less takes. You know, it takes a lot of time to do videos over and over again, so you should really do less takes on videos. You know, most times I do videos in one take, and to be honest with you, even when I was doing these videos for you, I maybe did 1 or 2 takes. You know, I did 1 or 2 takes, I deleted one, but most of the time I just do 1 take. I just go for it. If I make a mistake, it doesn't matter. If I make a lot of mistakes to the point where the video is like nonsensical, then I might redo it. But I don't like redoing videos. It's a big waste of time. Other people might think differently, you know, but that's just my opinion. I don't like spending time. You know, I don't want to spend 30 minutes doing a video that I could do in 6 minutes. It's just not very time efficient, and it's not time efficient for you if you're a part-timer. It just doesn't make sense to me. But if you want to do lots of takes when you first get started, just to get comfortable with video, that's a different thing. But you want to step away from doing the same take over and over again. Just get something out there. You'll get better videos as time improves, and that'll allow you to be more concise with your videos. So we want the length of the videos to be 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, that's your kind of average, right? And most importantly, call to action. That's what CTA is, right? CTA. What is your call to action? Are you going to lead them to a landing page? Let's just draw that out. So we want to get them to a landing page where they opt in and they provide you with their contact information. It could be a call to action to your blog. It could be a call to action to another video. It could be a call to action to anything, but it's very important you do calls to action. I see a lot of people doing great videos, but they don't do a call to action, and it really affects the efficiency of the video. You know, the videos don't convert because they're not telling people where to go next. So make sure you're doing that. It is one of the most important things about the video. But overall, that's the process. So this is the target market's important. Make sure you get very specific on your perfect customer, perfect business partner. And then this is the basic structure of the video. Okay, you know, name, where you're from, purpose of the video, content, just give a couple of tips, and then at the end give a call to action. You can say the website, but it's very important that you tell people where to go next to get some more value. So hopefully you got some value from this video. Next we're going to talk about where to actually put our video once we've created it, so it can get some exposure and start generating you some leads. So we'll see you on the next video.